Hi, third grade. We are starting our third week of video lessons for science, and we are going to continue our talk about weather and climate. So, climate is the variation of weather conditions over long periods of time. Weather is what's happening day by day. So, when I think about the weather for today, it is supposed to be warm and like 75 degrees, and there's not supposed to be any rain, so there's no precipitation. That is our weather for today. The climate is over a long amount of time, and this is something that scientists keep track of over years and years and years. And since they see patterns in what happens each season and in certain areas, they know that that is the climate. Since certain weather is common in an area over a long amount of time, it is considered to be the climate for that area. So last lesson, I had you do this graph in your science notebooks, and I asked you to draw a picture of what the weather looks like in the winter, in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall. So I've put pictures in there of what I know I will usually see in Nebraska during each of these seasons. We know in the winter here that we are probably going to see snow, and it's going to be cold. So I put a picture of a bunch of snow here. Actually, that is kind of what it looked like last week, even though it was spring. And that is something else we know about Nebraska is early spring we can have anything from 80-degree and sunny and warm to 20 degrees and snow. We kind of get a little bit of everything in Nebraska in the beginning of the spring. Most of the time in spring we will have nicer weather, we'll have higher temperatures and a lot of rain, which is what's helping to make everything start growing. These are flowers that you will usually see first in the spring in Nebraska, tulips and daffodils. So I thought I'd put those in for my spring picture. For the fall, I have a picture of the leaves changing colors. And I know that the leaves are changing colors because the temperatures are getting cooler. And nature knows that it is about to be winter. And so the trees have an adaptation to where the leaves change colors and they fall from the trees, and it helps the trees survive throughout our cold temperatures. Then in the summer, I have the sunshine, and you can see there's things growing there and some clouds in the sky. We know in the summer it's usually pretty warm in Nebraska, and it's not unusual for there to be some clouds because when it's warmer, there's more water that is evaporating and it's condensing in the clouds. And then, of course, we get the precipitation, usually rain showers, sometimes some thunderstorms. But these are types of weather that we see every year for each of these seasons. And because this is what happens every year in Nebraska, this is considered our climate. Over years and years and years, this is what the weathermen have seen. This is what the scientists have seen. So they have determined this is the climate in Nebraska. So in your science notebooks, I want you to write, how do we know what the climate is in Nebraska? Answer that question for me. I've talked it through in this lesson, so I want you to put it into your own words. How do we know what the climate is in Nebraska? If you want to share your work, you can email me at diana.capel@ops.org. I look forward to hearing from you, and we will be continuing this conversation in our next video. I'll be talking to you soon.